Hi, welcome back. Wasn't it great to see General George Washington yesterday? Fantastic. I'm glad he stopped in. He's going to stop in a couple more times. He's been going back and forth, and so he promised that he'd stop in. I love talking to him. I haven't seen him in a number of years, but it was good. I hope you enjoyed his presentation. So we're going to talk today about a very strategic battle called the Battle of Brandywine River or Brandywine Creek. It's in Pennsylvania, and it was a significant battle. It was a blow to the American morale. So this battle, Brandywine Creek, is about 25 miles from Philadelphia. And then we all know that Philadelphia is the capital of the colonies where the Second Continental Congress is meeting. So General Howe decides he's gonna come down and he's gonna take Philadelphia, but he's not gonna come through New Jersey because that's where Washington is. He's gonna go down. He's gonna sail out of New York down to the Chesapeake and then sail up the Chesapeake and then march that way. Check it out on your atlas. You'll understand a little bit better. So he leaves in July, and believe it or not, but he loses like 20 soldiers and 100 horses because it's so hot on the ships, and they die of heat stroke. So, but he ends up with about 16,000 troops. Washington's got about 15,000 troops. So Washington, Washington comes up this way, and then down. He's on the east side of the Brandywine River, and Howe and Cornwallis and Crimphausen, they're coming this way up from the Baltimore area. They're coming up this road right here. Now, Washington thinks that there's only Chad's Ford and another ford right up in here, which plays no significant part. But the Loyalists tell Howe, whoa, wait a minute, there's another one that nobody's guarding, and it's called Jeffrey's Ford, and you got to march about 15 miles up from Chad's Ford, but nobody's guarding it. So Howe looks at this and he says, wow, Battle of New York all over again with the fog and with the swinging around. So he divides his troop, and he has Crimphausen is over here, and he's got about 5,000 guys, and he's going to go this way, and it's a diversion. Washington has his main troops, okay? Washington's got his main troops right here. He's got them all right in here because he thinks they're coming through Chad's Ford, and he's got them like this, and he's got a couple troops over here. So Howe leaves Crimphausen with about 5,000 troops, and his task is to just keep the Americans occupied, keep them in a battle, don't get too involved. Howe with Cornwallis, or Cornwallis with Howe in tow, they march all the way up here, and they get away with this because of the fog. There's no fog. So so they come across this way. Now, you may want to say, what's a ford? It's not a car. A ford is really just a bridge, a narrowing of the river and a bridge. So you have these bridges that allow you to go across, or narrow part of the river that's not real deep. So it allows you to ford, to go across it. So that's what these three things are. So now you got Howe and Cornwallis coming this way. They're sheltered by fog, much like Washington had fog in Long Island. They now have the fog. Fog played a big part in the Revolutionary War, in case you haven't. So they're coming around this way. Well, Washington doesn't follow his normal defensive thing. He decides, I'm going to take it to the British, and he orders some of his guys across the river this way, and they get into this big battle. leaving his right flank completely open. Howe's coming down. Washington gets the word at the last minute, and he swings some troops around this way, brings some more up this way. Henry Knox's cannons are right about in here somewheres, but they're facing this way. Howe's coming down, and it's a tremendous battle, and they just crush the Americans. Washington pulls his troops back across the river. That's when Kriphausen sends his troops across. Washington realized he's done. He's got to retreat. He orders retreat from all of his people. Now, excuse me. Now down here is General Greene is down here. General Sullivan is up here. He was the one that swung this way. Sullivan is up here. And so Washington says, we're heading out. And so Washington goes out this way, and Sullivan takes his troops this way. Greene brings his troops in here, and Sterling brings his troops in, and they provide the rear guard so these guys can retreat. Washington goes out that way, retreating. Nighttime comes and eventually allows Greene to do an orderly retreat, and the rest of the troops going this way, an orderly retreat. Now, this was on September 11th, 1777. We all know September 11th, 2001 from the bombing in New York City. So kind of strange that it's on the same day. But anyway, it was a devastation. Washington marches off to Germantown, which is to the west of Philadelphia. The British march in unopposed. The Continental Congress got word. They left. They ended up in York, Pennsylvania, further to the west. And the British take Philadelphia, the nation's capital, with nobody firing a gun. Pretty amazing, huh? Not a shot was fired. So this is why the Battle of Brandywine was so significant. So tomorrow we'll hit up another Battle of Germantown. But this battle right here was demoralizing to the Continental Congress and to the generals in whole, especially George Washington. He made a devastating mistake by sending his troops across and by not protecting his right flank. So there you got it. Battle of Brandywine. See you tomorrow.